and welcome to the Henry County Board of Elections and Voter Registration meeting for Thursday, November the 9th, 2025. Would you please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Board Member Harris.
Good afternoon. Gracious and eternal God, we thank you for the privilege to serve the people of Henry County. As this board meeting, grant us wisdom and unity of purpose. With the November 4th Municipal and Public Service Commission's elections ahead, we pray that all details will be in order. The process will run smoothly, and every voter will have fair and equal access to cast their ballots. In this month of breast cancer awareness, we lift up survivors, those in treatment, and the memory of loved ones lost, asking for comfort, healing, and continued progress toward a cure. Bless this meeting, O God, and guide us to serve the citizens of Henry County with integrity and care. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Let me first start by just making a public service announcement to just say that the Board of Elections of Henry County is dressed in pink today. We stand with the survivors of breast cancer and also to the ones that are no longer with us. As we move forward, it is my intention to recognize different elements that are impacting our community to bring forth greater awareness. Board members, you have in front of you a copy of the agenda. Please take a look and let me know if there's any changes to the agenda. And Madam Director, I ask that you do the same.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
A second.
It has been first and second that we approve the agenda as presented. All those, is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries. The first item on the agenda would be the acceptance of the board meeting minutes for September the 10th, 2025. Board members, please take an opportunity to review the minutes and let us know if there's any additional edits that need to be made.
Chair, correction, I don't believe I was here for this meeting. I was not present for that meeting.
Okay? So the only amendment so far is to remove Gloria Lee Hawkins, Vice Chair. She was not present at the meeting. So based upon that, it is in the chair's opinion that we should table the minutes because there's other items that are in the minutes where it states that certain individuals second motions that appears to be an incorrection. So I would like to make a motion that we table the minutes for September the 10th of 2025. Can I get a second?
Second that motion.
Has been first and second that we table the minutes for September the 10th, 2025 board member minutes. Are there any further discussions? Hearing none. All those in favor of tabling the minutes from September the 10th, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Madam Director and also Secretary of the Board, please ensure that this automatically goes back on to the agenda for next month. Any items that are tabled should systematically move over. Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is under number 6, Director Report. Director Phillips.
today. That's not gonna work. Trevor. Thank you. All right, back to the director's report. As of September 24th, 2025, Henry County has 181,057 active voters, 18,032 inactive voters, 199,089 total active and inactive voters. Canceled voters as of August 24th, 2025, deceased 29, moved out of state 20, voter requested 5, duplicate 94, deceased 32, for a total of 180. Department update and staffing. We have had a few changes in our office, and first I would like to recognize our new registration supervisor, Trevor Roman. Trevor, if you would raise your hand. This is Trevor. He is the, thank you. He is the supervisor for the registration and absentee team and is responsible for managing, all active and inactive voter files for Henry County and its municipalities. We also have Crystal Cates, who is our board secretary. Crystal? She has also been promoted to admin assistant. So she performs clerical tasks, coordinates travel arrangements, manages schedules, and organizes files. So thank you both for everything that you do. All right, so more staffing. So of course, we are always looking for election day poll workers. The poll workers must be U.S. citizens and residents or employees of Henry County. And I do want to be, I want everyone to be mindful that if you are not a Henry County resident and you would like to be a poll worker and you live in an adjacent or an adjoining county, you can, but you do have to have permission from the elections director within the county in which you reside. So we've had that situation come up a few times, so I just really want to put that out there that you will need that poll worker affidavit is what the form is called. Right now, we have secured 236 election day poll officials for the November 4th, 2025 general election. And we are currently, our office is offering a total of 11 poll worker training classes. And I have 2 of those trainers in this meeting today. So Suzanne and Kim, would you please stand? They have been extremely good in our poll worker training courses, and I would like to publicly thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you. So we're also adding an additional 2 poll worker clinics for the purpose of just additional training for our poll workers who need that assistance. And also, we would like to remind the poll officers that they are available to come in anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, for any type of additional assistance that they need.
Madam Director, when will those clinics be?
So those 2 clinics, I do not have those 2 dates on hand. We actually have already had a total of 9 poll worker trainings. We have 2 more classes that are available. Suzanne, you can have this.
The clinics are October 28th and 29th.
Thank you.
The last training is Monday the 13th.
Thank you for that. And I do want to make it clear that the poll officials can come in any day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and get additional assistance from staff. So moving on to inbound call stats. So as of October 6, 2025, the elections office has had a total of 346 calls. 310 of those calls have been answered, while 36 have been abandoned. The average wait time is 12 seconds, so that's pretty good for our staff, and the average handle time is 1 minute and 47 seconds. So also, with the new SEB rule that took place, I think it took place in 2020, it's candidate ballot proofing. Candidates now have the option of coming into our office and proofing the ballots before they are sent to the Secretary of State's office for programming or to Tatnall printing for printing. So once a candidate qualifies, our office receives that information from the municipalities. We review it, and then we also give the candidate the option of coming into the office and viewing all of the information before that information goes on the ballot. So every candidate that is going to be on the November 4th, 2025 ballot took that opportunity and either came into our office to view that in person, or they reviewed their ballot via email. So they were invited to participate in the proofing process. Like I just said, they could come in person, they could review that via email. Candidates reviewed the proofs Tuesday, September 16th through Friday, September 19th from 9:00 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. They reviewed their ballot layout, confirmed the accuracy of their name and other election information. This is a form that the candidates have the opportunity to review. You will see all the sections that they would have to review on the ballot. We would require their signature at the bottom along with the required date. All right, so moving on to logistics and accuracy testing. So everyone knows before you could have an election, the equipment has to be tested, correct? So that's by law, and there are SEB rules involved with LNA testing as well. So LNA testing takes place in our office in the warehouse, and it is open to the public. So the public may come in any day, Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and review that process. So we have a group of people back there, trained staff, who are actually performing the testing on the equipment. So the notice, there's a required notice that has to go into the legal organ or the Henry Herald to advertise the LNA testing, and this notice was placed, let me see what date this was, September 22nd. The time 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. excluding weekends, and of course that took place here. We are almost complete with LNA testing. I checked today, and I think we have like one more precinct and we will be done. So that is a huge feat to overcome for our office. We are usually not completed by this time. So we have completed advanced voting and election day. So we are very proud of staff for completing that. All right, so moving on to poll worker training, and we've talked a little bit about poll worker training. Our office has held a total of 9 classes. Each class offers extensive training on election forms, provisional training, seal placement, opening and closing of the polls, and this training offered hands-on demonstrations as well, which I think have gone extremely well. Each poll worker is given the opportunity to provide feedback after each training, and we've gotten plenty of surveys back from all of our classes, so it's very interesting to read the feedback, and I'll share some of that with you. So one of the questions to the poll workers is, what do we do right? So what do we do right in your training? So that the responses we got back were they enjoyed the opening and closing of polls, they enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation, they enjoyed the forms, learning more about the forms, provisionals. And that's always, poll workers shy away from provisionals. That's one of the scary things, that when someone becomes a poll worker, they're like, do I have to do provisionals? And you're like, yes, it's part of it, you have to do provisionals. But it looks like you all did an extremely good job teaching the provisionals, so a lot of positive feedback. And of course, the hands-on training. I think having the equipment in here for the poll workers to actually touch and feel and get a feel for the equipment was a really good thing for this. what could be improved? So I was laughing at some of these, but, I'm like, okay, it could be a lot worse, right? So they wanted more evening classes, which I do understand, which we hear you, and we will work on that, next year, definitely. Smaller training groups, I understand that as well. It gets crowded when there are like 40 or 50 people in this room, especially with the scanners and the equipment, so I hear you on that as well. And of course, they want a coffee bar, snacks and waters, online, candy, donuts was listed. So I hear you on that as well, and I will try to get the bottled water. And an online tutorial, so I think that's a great idea as well, and we'll definitely look into that too. All right, so moving on to advanced voting, we all know advanced voting is coming up very, very quickly. Just remember, Monday is a holiday, so we will not be voting. It's not a holiday for our office, we'll be here, but the state will not be there. And that's one of the reasons why voting will not start on Monday. It is a requirement that every county and the state must start at the exact same time, so nobody can get a jump start on any other county. So it's gonna be Tuesday for the start date. Just remember, Monday's the holiday. So we're gonna have a total of 6 advanced voting sites, for those interested in casting their ballots. We have 3 locations that will hold, absentee ballot drop boxes. And just remember that any eligible elector may request an absentee ballot to be voted upon in person before election day. And as you can see, this is our early voting, locations, dates, and times. This was voted on by the board a couple of weeks ago. Our early voting locations are, of course, Heritage Park, Merle Manders, Fortson, Locust Grove Library, J.P. Mosley, and Fairview. Those dates and times, once again, it's gonna start on a weird day, on Tuesday, not Monday. So Tuesday, October 14th through, Friday, October 17th, we're gonna be open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're gonna be open on that Saturday, October 18th, 9 to 5. Sunday, October 19th, 1 to 5. Monday, October 20th through Friday, October 24th, once again, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, October 25th, 9 to 5. October 27th through October 31st, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So those are some long hours, and voters have a chance to cast their ballots on weekends as well. So going back to the 3 drop box locations that I mentioned previously, there will be one here at our main office, and that's 1550 South Zach Henry Parkway. It will be right out in the lobby area. The Locust Grove Library at 115 MLK Junior Boulevard in Locust Grove, and of course Merle Manders Conference Center, 111 Davis Road in Stockbridge. All right, and a few deadlines that I want to mention. October 14th is the first day to issue the absentee ballots for November 4th. So our office has already received a total of 89. So we're moving up every day. It seems like it's just creeping up. So 89, of course, we cannot mail those until, October 14th. October 24th, the last day to accept an absentee ballot application for the November 4th. And as always, you can check your ballot status on the Secretary of State's website at the My Voter page. All right, so moving along to the pre-certification of the November 4th. We now know this is an SEB rule that must be followed. That takes place the Friday after the election on Tuesday. And our board decides the time for that, although the SEB rule reads that the meeting must be held before 3 o'clock p.m. on that Friday. And of course, the certification of the November 4th will take place on November 10th. That is the deadline for that all returns must be, returned to the Secretary of State's office. And that is all I have today.
Thank you, Madam Director. as you was going through, I made a number of different things that I would like to just ask about.
Absolutely.
But first, I would like to give the board members an opportunity to ask any questions that they might have. So first to my right,
None at this time, thank you, Chair.
okay,
None of this time.
all right, so it's just me. So, first, let's go back and let me ask you about the poll worker clinics and training,
Yes,
and ask you what the difference is.
okay.
So that not only the board knows, but the public knows, the poll workers know as well.
So in the past, poll worker training, from my understanding, did not have a hands-on process. So in order to accommodate the poll workers and alleviate some of the issues that I have seen since I've been here, and hopefully not have those SCB cases that we've seen, we have decided to change the process. So what we've done is that we've taken some of our experienced poll workers who've been here and they know the process, they're in our office, that we're working with them one-on-one. And after talking with them, we all came up with a way, how can we deliver this training to the poll workers to help alleviate and some of these issues that we've had in the past. And we come up with, the hands-on with the equipment. So typically during the poll worker training, we have the scanner, we have the poll pads, we have the BMD, where the polling officials can actually go around and have that experience with the equipment. They know where to put the seal placements, they know, and I know that's been a big thing, and I know that the poll workers have learned a lot from that, based on the surveys that I've received back. I think in the past, there were issues around where do you place the seals on the scanner, where do you place the seals on the ICX, and with them being able to physically put the seal in a practice situation on the equipment, they're learning that process. So also with the surveys coming back, I've learned that poll workers have benefited from the election forms as well. So some of our trainers have recreated the state election forms. We're not using the official documents or the official forms from the Secretary of State, but they've gone in and recreated the forms and what they would look like. So now these poll workers have the option to sit there and have a mock scenario and fill out the forms. So it's been extremely beneficial to the poll workers.
Okay, so thank you for sharing that. And for the public and also for anyone that's public, previously we held a after-action meeting with poll managers. We invited them in. We asked for their feedback. They got the feedback, and this board and the director and the staff promised them at that session that we heard their voice. I am pleased, I'm excited to say that the team responded, and the response that I've heard in the community, the response that you're sharing today, has all been aligned that it overall was a tremendous success. So thank you to you, to the staff, and to the poll workers, the poll managers that came in to redesign the process so that Henry County now has a process that I believe is we have the best process in the state. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you from me and also this entire board, okay? Madam Director, you also talked about LNA. It's my understanding, I came in, I've done some observation. It's my understanding that we've taken a process that, as you stated, was very elongated. We complete the exact same process, less people, shorter period of time, greater efficiency, and from what I've seen so far, have been fewer errors. After this election, I believe again, we're gonna be able to come back and we're gonna be able to celebrate the leadership of our director and the team, which also includes poll managers, the people who are out there working. So thank you in advance for what you, the staff, the poll managers, and other people involved in the process has accomplished. This board greatly appreciates it.
Thank you.
Moving on, call stats. This board has been very concerned about the individuals that was calling this office and was not getting responses. Calls were being abandoned. There were double-digit numbers. It is thrilling today that they are single digits. This is all a credit to the leadership of our director and also the staff. So we thank you. I am doing this to ensure that one, the public is aware, and number two is I believe that we should give thanks publicly. And so I want to make sure we stop, pause, and provide them with the flowers that I believe they have earned. Next. Madam Director, I got a question first, and then I'll go into a little more congratulatory remarks. Can you give us an update as in terms of where we are with bringing on a assistant deputy director that's going to enhance everything that we've already talked about?
I can. I spoke with HR today, and it looks like November 10th is the date.
Okay. So this board has been working to strengthen our team, and we're going to bring on a deputy director that I did have the opportunity to meet and also participate in an interview that included the county manager, the deputy county manager, and also the executive cluster lead. And we are extremely excited about bringing on this individual. Based upon the small interactions I've had, the things that we talked about today, I don't believe we've seen nothing yet. And I also would like to say to the director, thank you for instilling trust, confidence in the individuals that's working in our office, elevating them, giving them the opportunity to take promotions. Promotions internally are the ones that are most difficult. It's easier to go out and to get somebody else and look past the people that are in the seats today. But our director has confidence in those people, and she promoted Trevor to supervisor. Congratulations again, Trevor. We greatly appreciate you. We know that you will do a fantastic job. In addition to that, we have a critical role, which most people don't think of, an assistant, an admin assistant, the person that's really the right-hand person to the leadership of the organization. And she's gone in and pulled someone from within the staff. Crystal, you've done a great job as this board's secretary. You're not done yet. I can say again, you're not done yet. But I'm sure that you're going to continue to do a fabulous job as the assistant, admin assistant. Congratulations on your promotion as well. Madam Director, when we came and we talked about the elections, there were some counties that was leading the charge, and they were providing wait times. And this board, we fought, went through a couple of elections, we couldn't get it right, and then we got it right, and I know the person that was leading this is no longer with us. Can you give the board and the community an update on if we're going to be able to have the online wait status ability, and can you share a little bit more about what that is?
We will. We'll have that capability. We're working with our GIS department, as we always do, and there will be a link on our website to provide that information. The state will also have a website that they use because there is a state candidate on the ballot. So that access will be available as well.
Okay. So the thing is that this election is a little different. Different meaning that it's a municipal election. So there's a lot of local things that's on the list. And perhaps there have been times where individuals was not sure whether or not that they had the ability to go out and to vote. We want to encourage you to go to the Georgia My Voter page. Look it up. You may have looked 2 years ago. You may have looked 4 years ago. And you may have said, no, I don't need to vote. There's been some annexations that have taken place and impacted cities. I would like for you to go out to your Georgia My Voter page today and see if you are to be voting for one of the council seats or for one of the mayors. Because you may be surprised. And I don't want you surprised on November the 5th. I want you surprised today so that you can go out and make your vote count and let your voice be heard. I know it was a lot, but that's all I have at this time.
Thank you.
Board members, any additional comments or anything at this point?
Yes, I'd like to add an additional one. I'd also like to thank Director Phillips for her efforts in improving community partnership, community engagement. The community is raving about the community outreach and the fact that voter knowledge and education has really improved in Henry County, and that they're able to reach you directly, speak with you directly, and organize things in nonpartisan fashion to improve voter education. They fully understand what this office and board does, what we do not, and I commend you for that because there was a lot of confusion around that. And you made it very clear, and in addition to training them as deputy registrars, they're able to share that information as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Chair, I'd like to make a comment to reiterate your congratulatory remarks for all the staff that you have done and the improvements you've made. I'm just elated. This day has finally come, and I knew it would come, and I'm thankful for that. And just so appreciative of all the staff and the poll workers and the managers, and thank you all for just coming, stepping up to the plate to get us all to the status where we need to be in this county. We need to pick it up, and we have, thanks to everybody's efforts and leadership. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We will now move on to item number 8, new business, and I turn it back over to Madam Director. It's the certification meeting. We got to select
Yes,
the time.
okay, so let's go back to the pre-certification. So of course, I mentioned earlier, that's fairly new. It's a new SCB rule, that requires, basically just a total number of ballots cast must be approved, before the actual certification that takes place on Monday. So what this does is give the board an opportunity to look through all the election forms from election day and advance voting. And we, if there are any discrepancies, we research those discrepancies, present that to the board, and then we all review our findings. So I am, asking that the meeting take place around 11.
So 11 o'clock on the 7th,
Yes, sir.
okay? And what about the certification meeting, so we can take care of both of those in one motion if we could?
We can't do the certification on that Friday.
Right.
However, we can do the pre-certification and the certification on that Monday, if y'all would like to do a combined.
Okay. So the two options are, we can do the pre-certification on the 7th, come back on the 10th, and we'll do the certification. Or we can do both the pre-certification and the certification on the 10th,
Yes.
okay? And if we did both on the 10th, what time are you recommending for that?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. So, board members, there's two options being presented, and I would like to take a motion to entertain one for a vote.
I make a motion to put it on November the 10th at 1 p.m. to combine both of them. It's more efficient.
It has been motioned by Board Member Cromley, second by Vice Chair Lee Hawkins, that we have the pre-certification and the certification meeting for the November 4th municipal general and special election on Monday, November the 10th at 1 p.m. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? This motion carries. Madam Secretary, do we have anyone signed up for public comments? Remember, you just, yes.
Martina Young Frazier.
Ms. Frazier? Just want to remind you that there is a 3-minute limit. We ask that you address the board and not individuals. Of course, be professional, make no threat. Do not use profanity or abuse of any topic or relation to a topic. The board will not respond to any of the comments that you made after you make them. We are making notes. If you have any written materials that you would like to submit to the board, please give it to the secretary and we'll be sure to read it in detail. Thank you for being here today and for your public comments.
Thank you, Chair. Again, my name is Montina Young Frazier, and thank you to the Chair, Vice Chair, Board, and members of the community for being here today. And I would just like to share, address that we're doing a great job in terms of the voter engagement and information, but I do think we can do a better job. I just want to point out that there are some opportunities outside of social media to do postcards in the mail, things to consider some PSAs, maybe for the radio, billboards, notifying HOA associations, even having for school teachers, maybe in their teachers' lounges, property managers. For some reason, there are renters that believe that they don't have a voice and can't vote. Also newer residents and Chamber of Commerce. I know that we did outreach for seniors, but we could maybe do some more for our youth. And also, we have such a large concentration of veterans. My husband, who is also a veteran, that again, it just concerned me that we spend a lot of time, and of course I advocate for our seniors, but as much time maybe we could do. I talked to a lot of residents that just don't know that there are opportunities for them to vote. We had, for reference, back November 2nd, 2021, the voter summary here at the Elections Board, 37,859 that were registered to vote, and 4,435 that showed up, and that was just McDonough and Stockbridge. That's just abysmal here for our community, and I think we can do better. So I'm of the opinion that we just shouldn't have more people going to church on Sunday than going out to vote. So again, thank you for all that you all are doing, but I'm just hoping that we can do a better job, maybe collaborate with other associations and entities to provide more information through bulk mail or possibly postcards. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, are there any other? Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Are there any additional board member comments? Going first to my left.
I was curious if Chair, if we're going to continue to give a synopsis of the public comments. I thought we decided not to do that, but I could be wrong. I'm just curious, and we can talk about that later too.
Yes, if we
Because if
could.
we had like 10 public comments, it could get really,
The board has had some discussions about that. It's my understanding that we are, or were in agreement. But I think that we should revisit that subject. You're more than welcome. And to my right. Okay. The next item on the agenda is executive session. We will not go into executive session today, so we'll move on to public announcements. Our next meeting will be on Monday, and regular board meeting will be Monday, the 10th of November at 1 p.m. Please note that we also voted to have the certification meeting at 1 p.m. We will work those in together so that we will be able to accomplish both during that same setting. Our meeting will be held here at 1550 South Zach Canton Parkway, McDonough, Georgia, 30253. If there's no other items, I would like to take a motion to adjourn. Okay, it has been motioned by, Board Member Harris that we adjourn, and seconded by Vice Chair Lee Hawkins that we adjourn. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is therefore carried. Thank you for coming out today, and that concludes our meeting. Thank you.